So this is a rather unique Hero Factory character that you might not have heard of before. It's a character that has some pretty interesting ties to the Bionicle mock community, and you can actually build it yourself with free instructions. So what's the story behind this colossal character? Well, let's discuss the history behind this guy in today's video. And you know how this goes. We'll see a few ways that you can use the pieces that come in this set to build your own incredible creations. Let's dive in. So back in 2010, there was a Hero Factory movie that was released. It was called Rise of the Rookies. So it was the first Hero Factory animated movie, which was exciting at the time. And little young me thoroughly enjoyed it. Towards the end of the movie, there was a heated battle that took place in a place called New Stellac City. There we saw Thunder and Kuroda fighting Bulk, Stringer, and Stormer. Now, the battle takes a turn for the worst, and we cut back to Hero Factory HQ, where we find Furno, Breeze, and Surge, and they're sent to New Stellac City to assist. On the way, they pull up old footage of Stormer fighting a villain in this very city. The footage that they watch, it showcases Thresher, Von Ness, and Stormer fighting this giant drone that's destroying the city. So yeah, this is the first appearance of that drone. Stormer eventually takes out the drone, and he does so by performing what is described as the coolest move in Hero Factory history. I mean, I guess it was pretty cool. So yeah, the drone is present within this movie. But the real-world story behind this character, I think, is super interesting. So as you can see here, the construction of this drone is using a ton of Bionicle pieces. It feels more like a Bionicle creation, more so than it feels like a character that's within the world of Hero Factory. Well, there's a reason for this. The reason that this character is in the Rise of the Rookies movie is because they're a fan creation that won an online contest. Here's the mock of the original version that won that contest, and yeah, you can see it's a little bit different. This was built by a builder that was called Chris Chan. Chris Chan was a member of the old BZ Power Forums website. And yeah, this mock was the winner of the official Bionicle building contest number 53. Originally, winning the contest meant that the model was going to be the representation of a mysterious character. A character that existed in the Bionicle storyline. This wasn't a new concept. There's a lot of canon Bionicle characters that were never made into sets, but fan mocks have become the official visual look for that character. But yeah, the contest that this Bionicle mock was entered into. The winner was supposed to be a representation of a mysterious character. It was assumed that this character was going to be a representation for Mirendar, but it wasn't. We actually don't have any images of Mirendar, but if you're curious what they could look like, here's a custom mock that was made by Cyanova32. In my opinion, this is what the character looks like, because this mock is just so awesome. But yeah, the drone didn't become this Bionicle character. And that was because, well, LEGO discontinued the Bionicle theme around the time this contest happened. So instead, this winning model was then recycled into an evil drone for the Hero Factory series. And yeah, that's why it looks a little bit more like a Bionicle mock, because, well, it was a Bionicle mock. Still, I think that's an awesome story, and it's kind of a dream come true. You win a contest, and then as a result, LEGO themselves takes your mock and puts it in an animated series, and it fights Stormer? That's pretty freaking cool. It is awesome that LEGO was collaborating with its fans like this. Now, that being said, I think I prefer the original model over the final one that we see in the movie. The armor and the shaping, it looks really sturdy and compact, with very few gaps in the design. Whereas the final model, the arms are really thin, there's gaps kind of everywhere, and it just feels a little bit more simplistic. I imagine some of the changes were made to the design because it was easier to animate. Perhaps the more robust look of the original mock meant that it wasn't that poseable, and as a result changes needed to be made so that it could translate into a digital context. Who knows? But look, the final model is still very fun and well made. We got some giant barrels strapped onto the back. This is meant to be the robot's power source. That's a nice touch. I like the huge amount of weaponry that it has. 2 giant blasters strapped onto its arms and then 2 embedded into the chest. That is kinda dope. Although the original mock and the drone that we see in the movie, they don't have any Zamispheres loaded into these sky blasters. They're just empty. So, I don't know, I guess these shouldn't be added in there, that's technically inaccurate. But why would you have blasters without any ammo in them? That seems a little, I don't know, strange. So look, it's a great design. It's one of those Hero Factory characters that's quite obscure, and you may not have heard about before, but it's still a Hero Factory character. Also, major shout out to Tayfun Production who put together instructions for this mock. They were super easy to follow, and they even included a part list so you could easily get the pieces yourself. It was great. I'll have a link below to those instructions if you want to download them and build this yourself. So that's the Hero Factory character known as Drone. But what's next? Well, let's do what we always do. Let's see how different builders have used the pieces that come in this guy to build their own creations. So the center of Drone's torso, it uses this silver armor element, which is a really nice piece. A builder called Socket and Ball Torture, they use this piece for pincers on an adorable little crab. It's a very cute design and a great part use. The upper legs of the drone use two of these shield elements in silver. How else could these be used? Well, Cascomox places this piece on the back of a metal beetle. Yeah, that actually works quite nicely, doesn't it? Never would have expected this piece to look this good on a bug. You'd think this shield piece would fit a knight context a little bit better, or some sort of humanoid character. But no, it's kind of perfect for a bug. But if you don't want to use this piece like this, do what the Cardus Dragon has done on this Toa creation. You put this piece on the end of some axles and you turn it into a large shovel weapon. What a clever idea for a weapon, and a really clever idea for a Toa of Stones weapon. The torso design on the drone, it places this disc launcher piece in the center. This was originally used as the weapon for Toa Vakama, but how else could it be used? Well, Bonkarella has built a Rahi, and it uses this piece for some kind of horns with flames blazing out of them. Yeah, I like this. It's a really solid, I don't know, elemental deer. Clever thinking. Just on top of this piece, we see two different types of wheel pieces. Here you can see them separately. But what other uses do these pieces have? Well, Ozcobot has a character called Mortis, and they use these pieces on the torso design. It's actually a very similar look to how they appear on the original drone mock. And you know, I love that. Why not just copy other good-looking designs and translate it onto your own mock? You can change it up a little bit, of course, like we see here, but if something looks good, use it. We can also see that smaller wheel piece being embedded into this flamethrower design. Plenty of good uses for these pieces. And finally, these Midax Sky Blasters that are on the drone's arms. We could use these pieces like Cameron has done, kind of embedding it into the torso design and turning it into a funky head and eye design. That's just so cool, isn't it? There you go. That's some ways that you can use the pieces that come on this Hero Factory drone. And that's the story behind this rather interesting piece of Hero Factory and Bionicle history. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check the links below and see more from the builders that I spoke about in today's episode. And check those links to see the instructions so that you can build this guy and add it to your collection. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you tons. Happy building, and bye for now. Oh, it's good to be back.